Alright. So, just to turn that down for a second while I give a bit of a talk. So, this is my second round recording this. The first time I recorded like an hour footage, and I hadn't set the window to scale in open broadcast. So I didn't, it was only in like the corner of the screen, like what got recorded. So I had to do it over again. Yeah. So, just gonna be doing a playthrough of Morrowind. Probably not gonna do too much tonight, but if the graphical stuff, like the resolution, looks kind of shitty, part of that is because I have to play it on, like, obviously it doesn't have like a 1920 by 1080 resolution option. And if I make it 1600 by 1200, it makes the font really, really small and unpleasant to read. So, like, this is the best scale option I have, at least at the moment, without downloading any mods or anything like that, because I'm just like a weirdo vanilla Bethesda player, to be honest. Having a little sippy of coffee. But yeah, I'm going to turn up the music again and kick this off. Each event is preceded by prophecy, but without the hero, there is no event. In the waning years of the third era of Tamriel, a prisoner born on a certain day to uncertain parents was sent under guard, without explanation, to Morrowind, ignorant of the role he was to play in that nation's history. Gotta read it really fast.
They have taken you from the Imperial City's prison, first by carriage and now by boat. To the east, to Morrowind. Fear not, for I am watchful. You have been chosen.
Wake up. We're here. Why are you shaking? Are you okay? Wake up. Stand up.
There's Gia.
There you go. You were dreaming. What's your name?
Her best friend. Okay, so what is our name? Last time I decided to go with an Argonian, and I already have a bunch of saves titled Pondskipper anyway, so I'm just gonna go with that.
Well, not even last night's storm could wake you. I heard them say we've reached Morrowind. I'm sure they'll let us go.
I do love that this guy...
Quiet. Here comes the guard.
Oh yeah, I'll be quiet.
This is where you get off. Come with me.
Ooh. Oh, not that kind of get off. But,
You better do what they say.
I love that this random NPC, who has no real effect on the game whatsoever, was so beloved by fans as to, like, warrant a billion mods made about him, and, like, a shout-out in Skyrim, you know, about he became Saint Jaeb and chased all the cliff racers out of Morrowind or whatever the fuck.
Get yourself up on deck and let's keep this as civil as possible.
This is where they want you. Head down to the dock and I'll show you to the census office.
I love these guys. Siltstriders.
You finally arrived, but our records don't show from where.
Alright. Like I said, I'm going to play an Argonian. And in the spirit of, basically, like, Kid Me, who compulsively only played female characters, I'm going to let myself live a little. And play a dude Argonian, because they have really cute fins. Like, and, like, look at this face. He's going to rob the shit out of you. But, like, you can't even be mad, because look at that face.
Great. I'm sure you'll fit right in. Follow me up to the office and they'll finish your release.
Oh, will I fit in? I'm sure that's my first worry. Hope all the fucking... I hope everyone likes me here in Seyda Need. It's my first day of Swamp Town.
Ah, yes, we've been expecting you. You'll have to be recorded before you're officially released. There are a few ways we can do this, and the choice is yours.
To be honest, I already know exactly what I'm going to do, and it's probably not going to be anything that the fucking class generation will give me, but, like, for the sake of the pure Morrowind experience, and, you know, as a throwback to Kid Me, who also loves to do this, I'm gonna, of course, do the fucking questionnaire. Like, how can I not? So, answer his questions.
On a clear day, you chance upon a strange animal, its leg trapped in a hunter's claw snare. Judging from the bleeding, it will not survive long. What do you do?
Huh, there's so much nostalgia in this. Let's see. Do not interfere in the natural evolution of events, but rather take the opportunity to learn more about a strange animal that you've never seen before. Use herbs from your pack to put it to sleep, or draw your dagger, mercifully ending its life with a single thrust. Interesting, because last time I opened up this game and I did this option and this option were reversed. I kind of wonder if it's randomized, whereas it isn't in the Xbox version of the game, where I think it is listed the same way every single time. Just one of those very interesting game facts. But I think I'm going to go with option 1 for Pondskipper here.
One summer afternoon, your father gives you a choice of chores. What would you rather do?
Gather herbs for your mother, who's preparing dinner. Go catch fish at the stream using a net and line. Or work in the forge with him, casting iron for a new plow. Well, that final option does sound based as hell. But I'm going to go with option 2, because I think that's
Your
more...
cousin has given you a very embarrassing nickname, and even worse, likes to call you it in front of your friends. You have asked him to stop, but he finds it very amusing to watch you blush. What do you do?
God knows I've been in situations like this before in the past, and I always basically ended up at option 1. I don't know how anybody doesn't end up in a berserker rage when, like, a hated cousin fucking will not leave them the hell alone. But yeah, I imagine that Pondskipper has a little bit of that feral energy in him, so gonna go with option 1.
There is a lot of heated discussion at the local tavern over a group of people called telepaths. They've been hired by certain city-state kings. Rumor has it these telepaths read a person's mind and tell their lord whether a follower is telling the truth or not. You believe what?
Kind of fucked up that, like, in retrospect, part of the reason I was like, oh, you know, what would they have to worry about? You know, all that kind of shit was tended to be my reasoning for this. In my naive days when I believed that the government could have been trusted in any way. You know, I was a kid. But that whole Patriot Act vibe, like, well, you know, what do we have to worry about if you don't have anything to hide? It's just kind of like a weird thing to really think about, considering, you know, I was 14 when I played this game, and that was like 3 or 4 years after all that shit went down. Oh yeah, I know you guys come for, like, your 9/11 nostalgia shit. You come to the Morrowind Let's Play channel for that shit. Anyway, Pondskipper is more of a, you know, freedom-loving hippie. So, this is a terrible practice. A person's thoughts are his own, and no one, not even a king, has the right to make such an invasion to another person's mind, is going to be his answer. But, just in case you can't read this teeny tiny font, it says here, in these times, it is a necessary evil. Although you do not necessarily like the idea, a telepath could have certain advantages during a time of war, or in finding someone innocent of a crime. And option 2 here, which says, loyal followers to the king have nothing to fear from a telepath. It is important to have a method of finding assassins and spies before it's too late. I guess part of my reasoning was like, well, you do live in a world with, like, Daedra and shit, and, like, evil wizards. I guess it would be important to know if, like, someone like that is coming up to you. You know, some retroactive justification there. Anyway.
Your mother sends you to the market with a list of goods to buy. After you finish, you find that by mistake a shopkeeper has given you too much money back in exchange for one of the items. What do you do?
Well, pocket the extra money, knowing that shopkeepers in general tend to overcharge customers anyway. Return to the store and give the shopkeeper his hard-earned money, explaining to him the mistake, which is like the cuck option. Let's just be fucking real, right? And decide to put the extra money to good use and purchase items that would help your family. That's gonna be option 3.
While in a marketplace, you witness a thief cut a purse from a noble. Even as he does so, the noble notices and calls for the city guards. In his haste to get away, the thief drops the purse near you. Surprisingly, no one seems to notice the bag of coins at your feet. What do you do?
I wonder if anyone's gonna get mad at me for calling that the cuck option. You know, because, you know, our fantasy quiz, like, real fucking sign of integrity here. Anyway, let's see. Leave the bag there, knowing that it's better not to get involved. Pick up the bag and pocket it, knowing that the extra windfall will help your family in times of trouble. Or pick up the bag and signal to the guard, knowing that the only honorable thing to do is return the money to its rightful... Again, the cuck option. Option 2.
Your father sends you on a task which you loathe, cleaning the stables. On the way there, pitchfork in hand, you run into your friend from the homestead near your own. He offers to do it for you, in return for a future favor of his choosing. What do you do?
Listen, buddy. You don't have to clean the stables. I'll give you a blowjob. Let's just do it together. Let's see. Ask him to help you, knowing that 2 people can do the job faster than 1, and agree to help him with one task of his choosing in the future. Sure.
Your mother asks you to help fix the stove. While you're working, a very hot pipe slips its moorings and falls towards her. What do you do?
No, whatever gets us to that blowjob faster. Anyway, I'm not gonna grab the fucking hot pipe. It's the moron option, you know. Although, I suppose if you were panicking, you might do it. But this is a multiple choice questionnaire. So, what's my instinct here? Probably be to push Mom out of the way.
While in town, the baker gives you a sweet roll. Delighted, you take it into an alley to enjoy, only to be intercepted by a gang of 3 other kids your age. The leader demands the sweet roll, or else he and his friends will beat you and take it. What do you do?
The delivery on the way he says, we'll beat you and take it, lives in my head rent-free, basically. Like, for the past 17 years, or however odd many years it's been. Let's see. I'm gonna go with option 1, because that one seems most likely for me to potentially keep my sweet roll. The real answer would be to shove the sweet roll into my mouth as quickly as possible, devouring it, and trying to flee. But it doesn't give me that option.
Entering town, you find that you are witness to a very well-dressed man running from a crowd. He screams to you for help. The crowd behind him seems very angry. What do you do?
Now, my instincts here is to, you know, imagine a douchey rich dude running away from a crowd of, you know, peasantry, with torches and pitchforks and whatnot. And when I imagine that, I'm like, oh, you know, fuck that guy, he probably has it coming. But, you know, it's not theoretically in the text of this question. He's just a well-dressed guy. So he could just be, like, a hipster douchebag or just, like, an intellectual. He's not necessarily an asshole, right? And if that's the case, I suppose my instinct would be to rush to the man's aid. You know. So, your personality and past reflect A, acrobat, which, okay.
Very good. The letter that preceded, you mentioned you were born under a certain sign. And what would that be?
Cool. So, in this case, I do want to play a spellcaster. So I want someone that has a pretty significant mana pool, or magica pool, really, in this case. So, the Atronach gives you a bigger one, but you don't recover magica when you sleep. You can only do it by, like, chugging potions, cheating, which is what I did as a kid, or getting hit by other people's spells, which gives you a chance to absorb some of the magicka they're throwing at you. The mage gives you, like, a little wimpy baby 0.5 int, like, bonus for your magicka. So overall, I think probably the best choice is the apprentice. Although I bet you if I became, like, got the Atronach and got, like, the cuirass of Hircine's hide, or whatever the fuck it's called, Savior's hide, that would probably help me significantly, but I'm not gonna play like that. I'm going with apprentice.
Interesting. Now, before I stamp these papers, make sure this information is correct.
Okay, so obviously I'm not keeping this class. Gonna be redoing this entirely. We're gonna go with willpower and agility. I'm gonna go with... see, this is the real debate, right? Like, if I keep my skills low, I have more room to train them and level up, even if they're, like, the things I'm mainly interested in. Whereas I could give a boost to the things that are gonna be, like, I'll use a lot early on, but aren't going to be my main thing, because I do love stealth skills. I like stealthing in these games as much as I enjoy magicking. And we're going to be mostly a magic stealth cross class here, with some combat skills later on. I guess for right this very second I'll choose magic. Our main thing is going to be spear, because we're an Argonian and we get a good bonus to spear, and I also like spears as weapons. Short blade is going to be our secondary weapon skill. Part of this is, like, metagame knowledge, that, like, there's a quest I can do for a Daedric Lord, and I'll get a great spear early on, but I gotta use a little tiny fork to kill a little floating buddy, a netch. You'll see. And, you know, might be a bit much. So, alchemy, I like, mysticism, alteration, and of course I have to switch these so that they're, like, because they're going to be stacked like this in my, my list forever. I've got to make them look nice. So, what was that? What was my last one? Restoration? Alchemy, alteration, mysticism, restoration. I think I'm going to primarily go as, like, a naturalist, kind of like healer, hedge witch type. So I'm going to go with that. I do want athletics and acrobatics, even though they're not big deals, just because having them bigger early on really helps with the early game running around and being incredibly slow and all that stuff. Let's see, so we've got 2 more that we can potentially get here. Now, I'm gonna probably pick Sneak, because even though in the vanilla game Sneak is broken and I can't pickpocket people, not being seen and doing sneak attacks is still really helpful. So, the real question here is if I take Destruction or not. Because we could do Illusion. This gives us access to things like Paralyze, Charming, invisibility, camouflage, or destruction, which of course, like, we're just gonna be hitting things with fireballs and whatnot, which sounds pretty sweet to me. I think last time I made this character, my main, like, thing was, oh, do I keep my short blade or just trade it out for destruction? And I think I traded out my short blade last time, but I'm not gonna do it this time. Acrobatics. There we go. Now it looks better. Yes, it's very important I do this, by the way. Destruction. Yes, I think that's better. Alright, and... you're just a humble wanderer. That's all you have to worry about. I definitely don't steal from people on the regular and poison people. Just, you know, a guy. A scaly guy. Alright, we're gonna go with that. So... now, his HP ain't shit, but we'll make quick work of that endurance stat sucking so much. Same with personality, although, like, it's just good for people to like you early on, even though you can just bribe people. It's just like real life. If you give people lots of money, they'll like you. So, once you get that infinite hack down, you're basically fucking good. Now I have a stats menu.
Show your papers to the captain when you exit to get your release fee.
Alright, we get our paperwork. We're getting the fuck out of here.
Continue through to the next building and talk to Celes Gravius.
Alright. Alright. I'm actually grateful for this redo in a way, because there was definitely a lot more random tangents and uninteresting asides that took up a lot of time. I'm practically booking it. Yes. Give me your torches. Give me your everything. I also wasn't paying attention and I began stealing shit directly from in front of the parole guy. Which got all my shit taken from me, and it's something I typically recommend you do not do. Like, little life advice from me to you. When, the Imperial officer who's setting you free says, hey, I've got a secret mission from you from the Emperor, like, first thing you should not do is try to steal the candelabra on the table in front of him. Shocking, I know. Alright, we've got some fucking money, eventually. Jesus Christ. Alright, and we're gonna avoid sleeping until I get to Balmora. I got a magic menu now. I do hate that there isn't a constant effect, water breathing effect in Argonians and Morrowind. like there is in later games. Like they were very smart and just made that a concept instead of a spell that you have to fucking cast over and over again and have a chance of failing if you have shit alteration or like low stamina. Like, oh god, I'm so tired. I'm just gonna fucking drown. Yeah, see, I grabbed the candlestick right in front of him.
Your papers, please.
So, Celis Gravius, I'm not gonna steal from you this time. First, let me take your identification papers. Thank you. Word of your arrival only reached me yesterday. I'm Celis Gravius. But my background is not important. I'm here to welcome you to Morrowind. Release identification has been removed from your inventory. Well, yeah, I know you just said that, but let's make some small talk. Background. I am Celis Gravius, the Knight-Errant of the Imperial Legion. Okay, so Morrowind. Yes, you're in Morrowind. I don't know why you're here, or why you were released from prison and shipped here, but your authorization comes directly from Emperor Uriel Septim VII himself, and I don't need to know any more than that. When you leave this office, you are a free man. Before you go, I have instructions on your duties. Instructions from the Emperor, so pay careful attention. Who's Uriel Septim? Yes, Uriel Septim is still the Emperor. According to my instructions, he personally authorized your release from prison and your delivery here. It's all very mysterious, but that's the way the Empire works. Silence, secrecy, let not the left hand know what the right hand is doing. What's the Empire? Yes, of course this is the Empire. This is Vardenfell district of the province of Morrowind, and Morrowind has been part of the Empire for over 400 years. The current Emperor is Uriel Septim, 24th of the Septim line. You haven't been in prison that long, have you? Nothing wrong with your head, is there? The men said you were acting a little strange when they brought you in from the ship. You know, like, I had a weird fucking dream. Give me a break. At least if Jayab was here, you know, I'd probably be even better. Oh, Jayab. I'm sure he's fine. Let's see. What was the option? Duties. This package came with the news of your arrival. You are to take it to Caius Casades in the town of Balmora. Go to the Southwall Corner Club and ask for Caius Casades. They'll know where to find him. Serve him as you would the Emperor himself. I also have a letter for you and a dispersal to your name. Well, thank you for the 87 gold. So, my trade. I'm a knight-errant of the Order of Ebonheart and an Imperial emissary attached to the Census and Excise Office here in Seyda Need. Imperial? I'm proud to be an Imperial. Through our legions and rule of law, we've brought peace and civilization to the provinces of Tamriel. Well, I'm not gonna comment on that yet. Balmora is north of Seyda Need. The road passes Pelagiad Village and Fort Pelagiad. I assume that's how that's pronounced. I don't really care. Crosses a deep ravine, passes Fort Moonmoth, and then turns west across the Udai River and into Balmora. The Southwall Corner Club is in southeast Balmora on the east side of the river. For more detailed directions, talk to Elena the Scout at Ariel's Trade House here in Seyda Need. But take my advice. You're new here. Take the Siltstrider to Balmora. Fast, cheap, safe. Cross the bridge and head east. Can't miss it. I'll be doing not that. Okay, press J. And you'll see I have a journal. And my first entry says, 16 last seed, day 1. My orders are to go to the town of Balmora in Vardenfell district and report to a man named Caius Casades. To find out where he lives, I should ask him Balmora at the corner club called Southwall. When I find Caius Casades, I must give him a package of documents and await further orders. So, if we do look at our directions, or not our directions, package for Caius Casades, you'll see that this is like been cipher scrambled. So, we're not gonna know what that says until later, because
this better be important.
I ain't about to sit here and fucking hash it out. Okay. Are you the one the boat dropped off? Odd to see a boat arrive at that time of the day. Hope the Imperials treated you okay. I swear they took my ring. I also love that Fargoth has inspired so much ire. Like, so many of the, random Wood Elf NPCs, especially the fucking, arena fan. Like, everybody just fucking murders this guy. Even though he's not really, like, he hasn't done anything. He's just, like, a short dude that's like, I swear they took my ring. I swear one of the guards has it. I had it last week for their weekly Lich Shakedown Bargoth ritual. An engraved healing ring, family heirloom of mine. You haven't seen it, have you? Yeah, I found it. Here, take it, man. You found it! Amazing! Thank you, thank you! You're now my favorite friend. I'll be sure to tell the others, especially my friend Ariel, who runs the trade house here. Go see him. He'll be happy to see you now. Damn right. Gonna get a little discount for that. So, like, why wouldn't I be his buddy? Background. Latest rumors. So he's telling me about Solstheim. I'm not gonna read all of these because, like, I tend to run through all of these options and then, like, read through them again. Because every time you get a topic and you talk to a person, their response is saved in your journal, and you can reference back to it if you need to. So you'll just see the topic Little Advice, you know, read basically everything any random peasant has ever fucking said to you about that topic, which is quite nice. And, like, it's all flavor text, but I'm not necessarily gonna... Alright. So we didn't get any new topics from that. Let's see. Little Advice. Phew, you're bitter green, Outlander. Might as well wear a sign, new in town. Word of advice. Buy a little goodwill. Lose a few drakes. Gain a friend. Folks will loosen up if you spread a little of the Emperor's gold around. Pay people to be your friend. Little secret. Talk to everyone. Talk is cheap. Ask questions. You don't ask, you never learn. And that's fucking truth. Especially in this fucking game. So he like gave me the gist of this fucking place. We're just gonna move on. Alright. Going to constantly run here for a few seconds. Vedunius Nucius, I suppose. But, yes, what do you want? If you're looking to get out of Seyda Need, I'd be happy to give you a little advice. New here? Take the Silt Strider to Vivek or Balmora. Fast and cheap, no trouble with wild animals and smugglers and bandits and outlaws. Go see Dervam Claren over at the Strider Port, over the bridge and east along the water. And tell her Vedunius Nucius sent you. That's right, that's me. If you decided to take the Silt Strider, tell Dervan Hilaren I sent you. Well, thank you very much. I do appreciate that. Appreciate all these discounts I'm getting from the locals. So...
Go ahead, stranger.
Yes.
First things first, before I do pretty much anything else. And the pace will be a little bit frustrating to start with, because I can't allow my fatigue to get too wild when I'm running around, or I'm not going to be able to hit anything. So, what should I do? I don't have a kill. I don't have a kill spell. So, let's talk to you. This is the seaport village of Seyda Need, Outlander, in the Bitter Coast region. I'm a caravaner, and I manage the Silt Strider port here. Tell me of your destination, if you're looking for a ride, or if you're new to Seyda Need, I can help you with local services, or any specific place in Seyda Need you're looking for. Or if you want someone in particular, maybe I know where to look. So, just gonna run through these real quick. Oh, this is pretty big. Let's see. Latest rumors. I've heard that the local tax collector, Processus Vitellius, is missing. No surprise, really. He wasn't well liked around here. Well, I'm sure he's definitely alive and not face dead in a swamp somewhere. Little advice. We see a lot of new faces like yours here in Seyda Need. If you're hoping to stand out from the crowd, you need to practice a lot to improve your skills. And if you want to increase your general level of competence, focus on your major skills, the ones most important to your trade. That way you'll advance more quickly. And another little tip newcomers forget. Always carry a little food so you can freshen up when fatigue gets you down. Eat a little and you can feel your energy coming back. It's true that if you eat like a loaf of bread, random ingredient, you might get like a little fatigue recovery boost, but let's see. That was a little advice, little secret. If someone attacks you first, you have the right to defend yourself. If someone doesn't attack you first, you're going to break the law if you attack him. So, my trade. I'm a caravaner. I can transport you by the Silt Strider. Silt Striders carry passengers and cargo between the settlements and Vardenfell. Fares depend on distance to be traveled. Silt Striders are giant insects. A compartment for passengers and cargo is hollowed from the creature's shell. The driver directs the beast by directly manipulating exposed organs and tissues. Silt Striders travel between Aldrune, Balmora, Seyda Need, Suran, Nisus, Moleg Mar, Margan, and North Landing near Vivek. So, always thought the Silt Striders were pretty neat. Let's see, Soul Slime, which is all anybody ever says about Soul Slime, really. Someone in particular telling me about the main people here. And so, Vidunius Nucius. Oh, yes. He steers business my way, and I do him a little favor now and then. Oh, really? Poor fellow. I don't think he's happy here in Morrowind. No shit.
We make a special trip just for you. Same low price.
Let's see, how much money do I have on me? At least 100. Alright. Not happy here? In fact, no, I'm not. If I had 100 drakes, I'd be on the next boat to Narcissus. I came here to make my fortune, and all I've got is this cursed ring. Say, would you give me 100 drakes for it? The ring itself is worth more than that, but the enchantment is cursed, and no one will buy it from me. It has a nifty little enchantment that helps you run faster. Problem is, it sucks the blood right out of you every time you use it. Please? You'll be doing me a real favor. Yeah, sure. Here's 100 drakes. Give me the ring. Get the fuck out of here. Thank you. You're a lifesaver. I'll grab the next boat out of here. Thanks again. And I hope your luck here is better than mine was. He will never leave Seyda Need,
My patience is
but
limited.
I like to imagine he did leave. And, like, helped him get the fuck out of here shortly before, shit really pops off here in Morrowind. Okay. So, we have a reel here. Welcome to Areel's Trade House. I barter for goods or coin. I also have a small selection of spells for sale. No credit. You want a little advice? That's free. That's all that's free. Would you like to hear about our most popular potions? Our most popular scrolls? Latest rumors. Alright, Hriskar. Yeah, he's a douchebag. Got it. If you want to live to a ripe old age, buy a weapon and as much armor as you can wear and still run from trouble. Buy a spell or two, and practice your skills. Don't practice on citizens. We call that foul murder, and we don't like it. But you can kill smugglers and bandits and other outlaws all you like. Outlaws have no rights. That's kind of terrifying. Plenty of adventurers make a living from killing and looting outlaws. That smuggler scum down in Adamasartus, yes. For instance, the cave down near the Silt Strider platform. Well, thank you for the heads up about that. Cure common disease and cure blight disease potions are most popular with travelers. Fortify strength, endurance, speed, agility are very helpful in combat. Fortify personality is popular with merchants and shy persons. Of course, fortify fatigue keeps you fighting at your best. Restore health and restore fatigue are perhaps our most popular items. And for a short burst of power during a fight, you can't beat Grief, Shane, Flynn, Matsta, and Sujama. Matsta. I always mentally pronounce it Matza, which, like, it isn't, but I tend to always reverse the Z and the T there. Masta. Let's see. Practice your skills. Practice on creatures and outlaws and anyone who attacks you first. When in doubt, run away. And if you attack a citizen by accident, don't kill him. Turn yourself into a guard, pay your fine, and clear your name. Or people will treat you like an outlaw. Yeah, that's the difference between a 40 gold bounty and a 1,000 gold bounty. Not terrible advice. Take the assault charge, not the murder charge. Let's see. So, I'm gonna barter with him because I don't have any money to make him like me more. But I guess it doesn't really matter that much. I remember getting in trouble a few times because I would, like... Because failure is not blocked like it is in later games, of course. So you can do something like sell or drop the package for Caius Cosades and then be blocked from the rest of the game. Let's see, the firearm package, Riskar, keep, directions, sell. I'm just gonna sell all of the stuff I picked up. 100%. Bread. I love those baguette loaves. Sell, and I don't need shoes because I'm a fucking Argonian, and I can't wear shoes. Nobody makes shoes for these Pete's. I don't think you have an iron spear, but just skip that. Buy a probe. And ooh, journeyman lockpick. Gonna take that too because this is shit right now. I'm very tempted by all that. I guess it's chitin boots. I always think of it as being chitin, like chitinous, or I guess it's chitinous. I'm not really good at speaking words. Which is why I decided to start Let's Plays. Where there's lots of voiceover. Okay, I'm just gonna buy these sparks, all that good shit. And I'll be back for you, Jack of Trades. The ability to fortify luck is pretty cool.
How are you?
Alright. So, let's see. Fire resist. What is versus spark, which is a little bit more. I'm just gonna go with frostbite as my main equipped spell right now. Okay, and I am ready to face the world. And I'm not sure how long I've been playing, but I will... And sadly, I cannot get rid of my old saves. There's just like a weird thing with the PC version of this game where like you can't delete them. So I'm just gonna go and save over beginning here, because that's what I did last time. And I'm going to pause and let this be the cutoff point for part 1 of the stream. And I'll be right back in a second.